ladies and gentlemen. So this is going to be a quick tutorial on how to register on Qservers. So let's get right to it. So Qservers.net, okay, Qservers, okay, .net. So you just click client area, Qservers client area. So Qservers.ng. Okay, let's check it out. So they're into web hosting, as we discussed during the orientation class. All right, so you can create an account. You can see manage account. Okay, manage account. Okay, this I already have an account, so this is my login area, but this is the register. So you go to register, then you put in your details. Okay, now you also need to download Google Authenticator. Okay, Google Authenticator, you need to download that on your phone because they've added a second layer of authentication. Okay, Google Authenticator, this is what the symbol looks like. So Google Authenticator is a software based by authenticator by Google, so you may need that when you're wanting to log in, but for the first time I don't think you need to. However, it's just important that you download that as well, put in all your details. Okay, and then you can now log in. Okay, so once you log in, you should be able to see your dashboard looking like this. Okay, or once you've created an account, you should be able to log in. So on my phone, I'm going to open up the Google Authenticator. As I've said, this is what it looks like. So look for Google, search for it on your phone on Google Store, and then you see something along these lines. Okay, so you can now you can now log in. So let me log in. Okay, and I'm not a robot. And then it will now ask me for the authentication. So my Google Authenticator is open, and then I can now put in the numbers I see there. Okay, so it's very important that you have this. The number changes, so the number you're seeing at that particular point in time, you can use that to now log in. So this is the process for accessing your Qservers, web hosting. All right, so if you're able to log in successfully, this is what your dashboard will look like. You have your services, you have your domain, okay, you have your tickets, you have your invoices. All right, domains are where your domains will be visible. So if I click on domains, for example, all right, I can see all the domains that I have on this hosting platform. I can go back to home, and then you can see you have services. Services is your hosting, the hosting packages that you have. So as I explained during the orientation class, a website is made up of two things mainly: your hosting and your domain. So in this case, they're calling it services. So I have three domains here. I have two hosting services that are active. Okay, so if I want to now buy a fresh hosting, okay, I want to buy a fresh hosting, I come up here to services, okay, to services. I can see my services. Okay, so these are all the services that are here. If I want to place a new order, okay, I want to place a new order, so website hosting. So these are all the different packages that you have here. Okay, but I want to select. Now you have a choice. You can either select all these starter packs, business pack, developer pack, professional pack, mega pack, all that. Or okay, all these are different hosting platforms. Okay, and or you can click on choose another category, and then you have WordPress hosting. So you just go straight up to WordPress hosting. All right, instead of trying to combine several things, you already have one that is a WordPress hosting. So let me show you the process once again. Once you've logged in, you go to services, order new services, and that brings you here to your hosting. So you can click on this. You can see WordPress hosting. So let's click on that. So once you see your WordPress hosting, you can now choose any of these ones. Okay, so as I've said, for your website, the more space you need for your website, the higher the gigabyte or the bandwidth should be. Okay, so if you are really expecting a lot of traffic, you really have a lot of products you want to sell, then you need to be thinking about the bigger ones here. So the largest or the biggest package they have is 275,000. That gives you 300 gigabytes bandwidth, 150 gigabytes of space, as against 10 gigabytes of space and 100 gigabytes of bandwidth. So you also have the choice of whether to pay monthly or pay annually. So we click on order now. Okay, so once you order now you have a choice of registering a new domain, for example. Okay, or if you have an existing domain that you've already bought with Qservers, then that's fine. All right, so but in this case now you want to register a new domain. So in the last class we had someone who had a site, so RI big multimedia, okay, .com. So this is the site that we want to register with. Okay, so continue. All right, congratulations, that is available. How long do you want to register this for? So you can see this is 23,500 naira. So this is for 1 year. Okay, 23,500 naira for 1 year. So it's telling you that, okay, if it's 1 year you want to do, that's fine. So you can click continue. Okay, so the domain is paid for 1 year. Then for the hosting now, they're now asking, okay, this hosting that you want to buy now, is it for 1 year? If it's 1 year, you can see it's 33,000 naira annually, or if it's monthly, it's 3,300 naira monthly. So you have the choice. So if you want to practice and just see how it works, you can choose the monthly option for now, since that's a cheaper option. Okay, but if it's not, then you can choose the annual option. Okay, so for the purposes of this training, this is 3,300 monthly. I'm assuming that that's what most of you would want. Then they have available add-ons, automatic website protection. You can decide to choose this if you wish. It's 100 naira monthly. Okay, I don't think that's too expensive. Then WordPress admin username. Okay, the default is admin. Okay, and changing your admin login URL from default WP admin. So don't change anything here yet. Okay, you can change that another time. So we can go to continue. Okay, we can go to continue. Oh, okay, they really want us to set it. All right, so we can set this to admin. Okay, and changing your admin from default. So and then we'll still leave this as WP dash admin. Okay, so default is admin, and then default here is WP admin. Okay, so let's continue. All right, so it will bring you here now. It says, okay, 1 year, okay, registration period for the domain, and it has hosting. So make sure this is green. If this is red, then you've done something wrong. All right, so DNS management for free, and then domain who is privacy protect. Okay, 10,900 naira. That's not really important. Okay, this what this does is the fact that if people are trying to find out details of your website at the back end, and you don't want it to be visible, because there are actually ways to search for a certain website and know the details from the back end. So if the amount of, or if the information on your website is very, very important, excuse me, and you don't want anybody to see it, then you can decide to select this. That's 10,900 naira for a year, I believe. So, but if you don't really need that, then that's not necessary. So you click on continue, and then we are now here finally. So this gives you the full details. WordPress hosting, okay, the hosting for 1 month, and then the domain registration for 1 year. So you can see the total amount is 25,000. So let's assume, okay, the total amount is 28,800. All right, 28,800. Let's assume you paid for the annual hosting. So that would be 33 plus 26. That is roughly 60,000 that you will pay. So if you're paying for 1 year, the advantage of that is, of course, you don't need to bother about your website for an entire year. So once all that is done, then you can now select your payment method. You can pay via Flutterwave or pay stack. So once you click on pay stack, that's usually my preferred option. I have read and agreed to the terms of service. I check out. Okay, so it brings you here. Okay, so once you have all this set and you're sure everything is on point, you don't have any issues, you're paying 29,342, then you can now click on pay now. So once it brings you pay now, then you can either pay through your bank details or you can do a transfer. Okay, so those are the options that you have. So on your mobile app, you can do a transfer. Once the money is sent, you just give it a couple of minutes, maybe 5 10 minutes. Don't refresh this page. 5 minutes. Just give it 5 minutes before going to your back to your dashboard. Okay, so once you've transferred, I don't advise you to just immediately close the screen and try to head back. No, give it 5 minutes thereabout. Okay, ensure that it really sent and everything has been updated on your dashboard before you go back to your dashboard. Okay, so if you did all that successfully, by the time you go back to your dashboard, okay, let's go back to our dashboard. Okay, so you will see that on your dashboard, you will see domain one, services one. Okay, so if you did that successfully, that's what you see on your dashboard. All right, so try this out. If you have any issues, we'll discuss that in tonight's class. All right, so thank you so very much.